Now, I've been into sim racing and cars for as long as I can remember. Arcade and Sims, from Need for Speed, Underground, and Sega GT 2002, to Forza Horizon and the Gran Turismo series, to actually owning Evo 10 in real life, because it's an Evo 10. Now, I thought after experiencing the racing franchises on console, there wasn't much left to explore beyond that. At least for what was affordable at the time, until I tried racing with the wheel on PC for the first time. It's realistic anyways. When your back tires, your back wheels start giving up.
I think that'll be the sweet spot for this car.
Now, to be honest, I didn't just jump right into hardcore sim games on PC. I started out with using my Logitech Driving Force GT wheel, which I've had for many years, but never used it on a Gran Turismo on the PS3. So I figured, why not give it another shot on the latest Forza Motorsport on PC? And from that moment on, I realized how easy it was to adapt using a wheel over a controller when driving. Somewhat similar to how I felt using a mouse and keyboard over a controller in FPS games. That level of freedom and control and sensitivity when turning, backed by the level of force feedback feeding you various information you need to know when driving. But before I move forward, let's take a step back as I briefly go over how this once non-affordable hobby became more accessible to your average gamer, like me. Sim racing gear wasn't truly affordable in the mid 2010s until technological advancements and market competition occurred. Around 2015, Logitech's G29 and G920 delivered force feedback and full pedal sets from $200 to $300, while Thrustmaster's T150 offered similar quality below $200. But they were only belt driven wheels, which were like turning noisy conveyor belts when turning. The introduction of budget direct drive options like Fanatec's CSL DD line that released in 2021 for $350 to $500 based on your bundle opened up the market, bringing in pro level fidelity to the masses. These direct drive wheelbases are operated through a mechanical torque mechanism measured in Newton meters. Coupled with sub $200 foldable cockpits and a booming used market, this era marked the tipping point where a complete immersive setup dropped below $500, transforming sim racing from a luxury niche into a widely accessible passion. Near the beginning of 2024 is when I purchased my first direct drive wheel, and it was when my cherry popped. No. Racing cherry. After tons of research, I decided to go with the Moza R9 wheelbase, along with the Moza KS GT wheel and SRP pedals. In the world of difference I felt jumping from a belt-driven wheel to a direct drive wheel was an insane gap. And that moment right there was where the hobby consumed me. I didn't just stop there, of course. I was driving a wheel clamped to a desk while sitting on my PC chair with floating pedals because, couldn't stick to the ground. So what did I do next? The same thing everyone else did when they start a new hobby. They go down a rabbit hole. I got the next level wheel stand 2.0 to have a sturdier foundation, and shortly after, 9 Newton meters in my R9 was no longer enough for me. I wanted more. I wanted more experience. I wanted to experience what it felt like to get engulfed by more power behind the wheel. After all, GT3 cars were and still are my go-to cars in sim racing. So I upgraded multiple times in 1 month. I returned the R9 for the R12, then the R12 for the R16 V2, not the V1, then purchased a cheap bucket seat from Amazon after getting the SimLive GT1 Evo Lumen Profile from Micro Center, as well as the Aztec Forte pedal set.
2,000 years later.
I went to Micro Center more times in 1 month than the number of hours I spent in Avowed. I know. That's a lot. As far as the Sims I played, I'd say I tried everything except for Beam, NG Drive, and Richard Rally Burns. I'm not into F1 at the moment, and rally games are like the Dark Souls of sim racing games. For me. Plus, I don't have a shifter and a clutch setup yet, and I currently don't see the need for one until I start driving more road cars when AC Evo comes out, with the free roam update this summer. If it's good, that is. My current main sim I like to stick with for now is Le Mans Ultimate, strictly for the GT racing. They have a well-built online daily race system, similar to Forza and iRacing, without the need to buy more tracks every rotation. And after comparing the gameplay and force feedback on Automobilista 2, iRacing, ACC, and Le Mans Ultimate, I feel like Le Mans come out on top with Automobilista 2 as a close second contender for GT3 racing. So that's how I became a casual sim racer. I played too many other games to become a dedicated sim racer, but after all the sims I played so far, I still want a smooth single player progression mode in my sims, hence AC Evo. That's why I really hope Sony brings Gran Turismo 7 or 8 to PC soon. But that's all I have for you today. If you made it this far and enjoyed the video, then subscribe to my page. If not, then that's okay as well. I hope you all have a blessed day. This is Area Forge, signing out.